All right, let's do some more unit analysis here. Maybe a little bit more complicated here. We want to go from 1,000 seconds to days. So we're going to start not 1,000 seconds, 1,000,000 seconds. Going to start with 1,000,000 seconds. Make our unit conversions. Remember, we have an understood 1 on the bottom. So I want seconds to cancel out. In order to do that, I've got to put seconds on the bottom. I could go directly from seconds to days, which is what we want. The only problem is I don't personally know how many seconds there are in a day. If you do, you can go ahead and put that. I don't know that. Remember that this thing has to equal to 1. That whatever's up here has to equal whatever's down here. They have to be the same amount, but not the same unit. So I'm going to choose hours to begin with because I do know how many seconds are in an hour. I know that there's 3,600 seconds in 1 hour. Okay, so that way my seconds cancel out, and now I'm left with hours. But I don't want hours, I want days. So I'm going to make another conversion factor here, again equal to 1. I'm going to get rid of hours now. I got to put hours on the bottom, and I do know how many hours are in 1 day, and that's 24. And what you do when you do unit analysis, once you have everything crossed out that you want to cross out, and you have the unit here that you want to go to, then you're done. Now you can multiply and divide. That's the only thing you're going to do. If it's on the top, you multiply. If the number's on the bottom, you divide. And you ignore ones because they aren't changing anything for you. So the way we would do this is 1,000,000 divided by 3,600 divided by 24. So here we go. 1,000,000 divided by 3,600 and divided by 24. And that gives us 11.57 days. 11.57 days. All right, let's go to the next one. Hours to minutes. 5.5 hours to minutes. 5.5 hours is what we're starting with. Understood 1 underneath. Got our conversion factor. We want to get rid of hours. It goes on the bottom. Hours cancels out. How many hours? And we've got to put minutes on the top because that's what we're wanting to go to. And I do know how many minutes are in 1 hour. I can make this conversion factor. 60 minutes in 1 hour. And now we're done because minutes is what we wanted. We get 5.5 times 60. You get 330. So 5.5 hours is 330 minutes. Now, notice that we've been dealing with time on both of these problems. When you're dealing with time, you cannot move the decimal to convert those units. And the reason is because time is not a base 10 system. Notice 60 minutes in an hour. You know that there's 60 seconds in a minute. Time is not a base 10 system. It's a base 60 sort of system. So the only way we can convert time is to use unit analysis. Unit analysis will work for any of this stuff. Unit analysis will work whether you're just changing prefixes or if you're converting time. It'll work for any of it. Changing the prefix by moving the decimal like we did up here, that only works if all you're doing is changing the prefix. And I think that's an easy thing to do. If you're not comfortable with it, you can certainly use unit analysis, which is what we did here. Unit analysis will work for anything, and it is the only option you have when you're converting with units of time. Let's go on. 1 week into hours. 1 week, understood 1 on the bottom. We want to get rid of weeks. We want to go to hours. So weeks has to go on the bottom. It's going to be gotten rid of. I don't know how many hours are in 1 week, so I can't make that direct comparison here. I don't even know, well, minutes is going the other way. I do know how many days are in a week, though. You and I both know that there are 7 days in 1 week. This is equal. This amount up here is equal to this amount at the bottom, so this whole thing equals 1. So it's not changing this amount. All we're doing is we're getting rid of these units. Now we have days. We still need to make another conversion factor because we have to go to hours. So here we go again. Days on the bottom. Hours is on the top, and the reason why we're putting it on the top is because I know, and you know, that there are 24 hours in one day. All right, and once again, now we're going to go through multiply and divide everything. We ignore the ones. If it's on top, you multiply. If it's on bottom, you divide. So all we have here is this number and this number. Those are our only non-1 numbers. 7 times 24, and that gives us 168 hours in 1 week.